Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. All right, Shalom Malakiam. All right, I'm Zahar Spirit, we in Judah, giving our honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings and health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, and today I want to go into a live stream entitled Yahawashi wants us to overcome. All right, Yahawashi wants us to overcome, and this is something that I've been building with the brother and building out the brother Yashas, in which one of his YouTube pages is GMS Give and Go, and the other YouTube page is I think GMS Kingdom Minded 144. All right, and something that I've been meditating on since we've been in that spirit. All right, because the brother had been bringing it out heavy, is that Yahawashi wants us to overcome. Okay. Yahawashi wants us to overcome, and it makes me think about this movie reference, all right, from the movie Alexander, all right. I had the movie Alexander Revisited, and Alexander, I think he told his father that he wanted to be king, or what's it like being king, something to that effect. And his father, which is the king of Macedonia, King Philip of Macedonia, he said, kings aren't born, they're made. All right, kings are not born, they're made. And he went on to say, they're made through sufferings and hardships. All right, that's what makes a king. All right, you make a king. You might be born an heir, because when we became new creatures in Yahawashi, all right, we became heirs according to the promise. We became joint heirs with Yahawashi, but Yahawashi had to be made. See, Yahawashi is coined the captain of our salvation. All right, and he also said in the scriptures, where it said in the scriptures that if you suffer with me, you shall reign with me. Okay, but Yahawashi, he was made. All right, and if you want to go into a deeper level, he was made since he was being made, or he was being a work in progress since the time of Adam. That's why in the book of Corinthians, he's referred to as the first Adam, the first man Adam. All right, the imperfection. All right, then throughout the process of his reincarnations, he was going through this process of being made. All right, character building. His character had been yeah, that's right. His character had been forged. Okay, forged through circumstances, forged through mistakes that he made, whether it was through Adam, all right, whether it was through King Solomon, all right. Then like he came back as Isaac, okay. But he came back to get it right as Yahawashi, to finish that process, man. And then at the completion, all right, of it, what did it say? It is done. Okay? So Yahawashi had been made. All right? Because kings aren't born, they're made. And now, all right, Yahawashi is sitting on the throne, all right, but what he's doing, all right, he's the crossover with him, man. He wants his little brothers to cross over with him, man. All right? So the sufferings that we go through is set up for us to overcome. All right? All right, if you look up the word man, and this is something that the brother Priest Abaya in the camp brings out, the word man really means champion. All right, but how do you become a champion? You become a champion, all right, through overcoming challenges. So we might as well gird ourselves like men and prepare, all right, to continue to go through these challenges, man. The things that we go through are challenges, man. All right? And the thing that makes it so unique is that we wasn't born in the flesh to overcome these things. When we became a new creature, down the Most High started molding us into becoming heirs and joint heirs with his son, Yahawashi. All right? We become joint heirs with Yahawashi. All right. For example, all right, the circumstances we go through, the Most High, but he purposely sets up circumstances, all right, that challenge us. He sets up circumstances that challenge us, so we can overcome it. And that's important to stress, because we can't allow ourselves to be victims of our circumstances. Yeah, brother, I got this problem. That's why I wasn't able to do this. Well, that problem was resistance. That problem was set up by the Most High so you could build character, man. You know, it's not for you to say, well, I grew up like this and this is why I had this character flaw. No, the Most High, he's bringing things to light within you so you can get rid of that character flaw. All right? And it says in Psalms 103, he knows our frame. He remembered that we are dust. All right? But at the same time, all right, he puts us in circumstances because he's molding us to rule, man. In the first step of molding us to rule, the elementary phase is ruling over your body. So the first step is ruling over your body, man. Ruling over your own flesh. The first thing a king-minded person has to do, if you are an heir and you're gonna become a king, the first thing you have to do is learn how to govern your own body. All right, so you can't be a slave to your devices. That's why the Apostle Paul, all right, and I'm gonna get these scriptures a little later, but that's why the Apostle Paul always went into what? All right, mortifying the members of your body, man, because we're being molded into the image of Yahawashi, man. But that first step, all right, because we have to rule. The first step is ruling over your own body, man. All right, when you mold your son, if you're a king and you have an heir, all right, he has to learn how to dominate and overcome. All right. All right. So the first thing you have to learn how to dominate is yourself. You can't rule over a nation of people if you're a slave to your lust. All right. That's the difference between a king and a slave. All right. So the first thing you have to do is conquer yourself, conquer your lust, and not only conquer your lust, conquer your emotions, conquer your fears. The Most High put us through challenges, all right, that may inwardly make you feel a little fearful, but you're forced to go through it so you can overcome it. All right, so you can learn how to show yourselves men in every situation in your life, man. Because if you don't overcome it, it's gonna overcome you and it's gonna dominate you, man. All right, now it's like, well, you failed the test. You see, but the first order in becoming a ruler, because we're being molded to be rulers, man, is ruling over your damn self, ruling over your ride, ruling over your libido. All right, that's one of the first things. All right, ruling over your appetites. Okay, and also I've realized that you might be born with certain things, or you might have certain dispositions. Well, the Most High wants you to rule over that too. He wants you to dominate it. If you have weight issues, health issues, all right, he wants you to dominate it instead of, hating yourself because, you got certain problems. He wants you to dominate it. What are you going to do about it? Some of them learning about being a man in this truth is whatever mistake you've made, whatever issues you have, dominate it. Stop fucking just doting about things. Do something about it. All right, but going back to ruling, first, you have to rule over your flesh, rule over your body, rule over your devices. Okay? As the scripture says in Proverbs, how man has to rule over his own spirit, because if not, he's like a city that is without walls. All right? The second thing, all right, is what? Ruling over your household. How can you see? We're running a nation. The 1/3 of our people, that's a nation being forged that's going to transition into the kingdom. That we are the Most High is establishing a kingdom as we speak. And Abba willing, we're going to be the heirs and rulers of those kingdoms. We're going to be the rulers of those of the kingdoms to come. Excuse me. All right. But the first thing you have to do is rule over yourself. Then you have to dominate your household, man. All right. So you got to pray to Yahawashi to give you the character to dominate your household. Okay. So you control the money. You control, how money is being distributed, because that's what happens when you run an actual kingdom. You control the actual the money, where the money is going. You enforce laws. All right. So, but first you got to do that with your own household. So first you got to rule over yourself. Then you got to rule over your household, man. And then you rule over your people, your nation. All right. So we're being molded to rule. So the Most High wants us to overcome certain things. First of all, we got to overcome our flesh. All right. Like I did in the lesson earlier through the spirit. Shit, we got to overcome Babylon, man. We got to overcome Babylon, but that starts with overcoming your own inordinate desires, man. All right? In which Babylon seems to make, the king of Babylon wants you to become a slave to, so you can be distracted at the fact that you're a slave, that he's planning to put the MOB inside, man. Once you can overcome the dainties in Babylon, and you sober your ass up, all right, then you desire more than bread and circuses. You desire to rule. Okay, but the Yahawashi is putting us in situations, and he's creating these temptations so we can overcome them, man. And that's something that brother, like I said, Yashas always brings out, man. All right, so we have to have a champion fucking mindset, man. And I'm using vulgarity, excuse me, but I'm becoming excited. All right, we have to develop a champion mindset, and a champion overcomes challenges. There's a saying: if it doesn't challenge you, then it doesn't change you. All right, champions overcome challenges, and that's what makes you a man. A champion overcomes challenges. The Most High puts us in situations, all right, that forces us to man up, man. All right. Hey, our national animal is a lion for a reason. But if you look at the lion, what does he do? He dominates his prey. He dominates his prey. You know? He conquers, man. The conquering lion of Judah. Well, that's really referring to all the 12 tribes, man. A lion dominates, man. And the Israelites, we're a lionistic nation. We are a lionistic nation, man. All right? So we have to reframe our viewpoint on the things that we go through, because it's set up for us to dominate. Like I said, if you have a son who's a fighter, like they got over there in Russia, some of those Russian fighters, they got their sons. I saw a video clip of a little Russian boy when he was a boy. He was wrestling a little bear cub, man. All right? He was wrestling a little bear cub, man. And because they were molding him to be what? Become a fighter. All right? So Yahawashi is always going to put some type of resistance in your path. Satan works for Yahawashi to mold you into a prince, to mold you into a ruler, man. Satan isn't going to do anything that Yahawashi is not going to allow him to do. All right? But you have to be molded into a... How can you be a warrior if you never had resistance, man? How can you judge people if you couldn't even... If you felt weak to the stuff that you judged somebody else by? You know? You see? But Yahawashi wants us to overcome, man. He wants us to overcome our lust. He wants us to overcome our ego, our pride. He wants us to overcome being petty. He wants us to overcome, all right, these little character flaws that effeminized us in Babylon, man. The beauty of it is that we really, a lot of us, we basically start from zero to something. We're basically like little boys that's becoming men. All right. He's molding us. All right. So he's putting us in circumstances, and he's sitting back watching us and seeing how we react, seeing if we're gonna do what we're supposed to do. All right. Because it's one thing to give somebody a prep talk, but when you get in that game, are you gonna retain what you were taught during that prep talk? All right. See? And some of us are going to be put to death because that's the ultimate trial, but that's a challenge too, but it's an honorable so-called martyr, man. All right? It's an honorable death, man. And we're going to transition right into those new bodies. All right? And have immortality, man. But that's part of the challenge, man. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, man. So A lot of the things we're going to go through, and a lot of things that we've been going through, is outside of our comfort zone. It's outside of what we're used to doing. It's outside of how we are accustomed to react. All right. A lot of the challenge that we go through is challenging us to react differently than how we're used to reacting, and that's outside of our comfort zone. Yahawashi is molding a brother that's passive to become more assertive. All right. All right, brother, to take more of an initiative. Yahawashi is molding a brother that's easily upset, easily angry, always get into fights. He's more than that brother to be more collective, or to be more patient, or to be more wise. Yahawashi is molding us to rule, man. But first we have to rule over ourselves, rule over our families, our households, man. All right? And then we're ruling over our nation. And we're going to rule over the world, man. All right, but it's one thing to get out there and put our garments on the highways and the byways, and we say these things, but a lot of times it's hard for us to accept that we're going through what we're going through in our day-to-day life, because really, quite frankly, we're being molded to rule, man. Because we have to practice what we preach. All right, let me get these scriptures the brothers put on the comment board. Shalom to you, Akim, you Akwath, who are tuning into this live stream. Job 38:3. Gird up not thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. And we have it tells you that these things are written for our learning, right? Job's situation was written for our learning. Okay? We go back. 2 Timothy 2:3-4. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi HaMashiach, for no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Endure hardness, man. Hardness makes you hard. We're being hardened. He's building our fortitude, man. All right? You might have some woman that break your heart and rip your heart. Hey, well, Most High use that to make you a little more callous towards these Babylonian women, so you won't overreact to women while you're on this truth, man. Or you won't take them so serious while you're in this path, man. Nothing happens to you in vain. Everything happens to you for your benefit. As it says in Romans 8:28, all things happen for the good of them who figure out by smell shy. Because a lot of us, like I said, we've been emasculated, all right, in this society. So the Most High use different tools to harden you. The process might not feel good, but the result is a warrior, man. The result is a man. Okay? You know, that simp nature, that has to get molded out of us. All right? Another way the Most High hardens you is through deprivation of pleasures. Okay? You going 6 months without a woman, 2-3 years without a woman. The Most High is molding you, man. He has to use something. All right? That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. 2 Timothy 2:5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully. All right, Matthew 25:21. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. That is a beautiful scripture. All right. We have been faithful over a few things, man. I will make you Lord over many things, man. All right? These responsibilities that the Most High gives us in the spirit, there's a reward for maintaining those responsibilities. There's a reward for staying steadfast in his work, man. There's a reward, man. But we have to reframe ourselves as little soldiers, man. And the Most High is molding us. We're little heirs. Is that in Galatians, Akim, where it says like the heir, the son, as long as he's an heir, he's a little different from a servant and he's under tutors. All right, if you go into the history of an heir, which is the son of a ruler, all right, he's getting molded into his position. Like the king of the Ottoman Empire, he had known 5 languages by the time he was 12. Then on this particular documentary, which is on Netflix, the Ottoman Empire, all right, he knew 5 languages by the time he was 12. They actually showed a clip of him getting chastised, getting beat, all right, because he was being disobedient. So he had a whole um he had a whole school of men per se, school of rulers who was molding him to be a ruler. So it wasn't just you were some spoiled prince diva nigga. No, he's being groomed into rule. He was studying the history of Alexander, all right? Studying the strategies of Alexander. You see? He was being molded differently than, than a common man. All right? Let me get these scriptures. All right, well, that was a heavy scripture, Matthew 25 and 21. Revelation 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. See, it's all about overcoming. And Yahawashi created these simulations. These are simulations that Yahawashi is using to test our faith, which our integrity, test our trust in him. All right, also to mold our character and to mold our mindset unto that of a ruler, man. Okay. All right. It says Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulations 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. And one thing I've noticed, when you separate yourself from this society, Yahawashi, he puts the spirit on you to really desire to rule, man. You see, a lot of brothers have to unplug from this excessive lust for the women in Babylon or this Babylon itself. I mean, teach his own. You know, you move how you move, but really, Yahawashi wants us to look past that. All right, going back to the king of the Ottoman Empire, when he was attempting to take down the Roman Empire, you didn't see not one scene when he was laid up with a woman, because he knew that once he got the kingdom, once he overtook the Roman Empire, which is ironic, you know, talking about this lesson, he had a desire to overtake the Roman Empire. All right, he knew that the accolade to taking over the Roman Empire was what? Just countless women. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. All right. Romans 8 and 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs of Yahawashi, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also glorify. I read that from the top again. Romans 8 and 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahawashi, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. But that word heir is not a light word, man. All right, that word heir, you have to be molded into that position. And that's something that we weren't taught as so-called Americans and in these United States, man. All right? You think about an heir to the throne, he just wake up entitled, wake up privileged. No, that heir is a molding process, man. You know, he has to take fighting classes. He has to be tutored by he has to be set up by different tutors. You know, another example is the movie Alexander. They showed the scene where Alexander was being molded by was it Aristotle? All right. See, another example was the movie 300. All right, they showed you how King Leonidas was molded, man. That wasn't a light matter. So yeah, we're heirs. I believe it's us, but we have to be molded for these positions of rulership. We have to be groomed, and it's a rough process, and it happens through overcoming challenges, overcoming trials. And what happens is you develop, the end result is a son who has supreme confidence. He has a confident mentality that I could dominate anything. I could overcome all obstacles, man. You see, you have a certain confidence about yourself, man. You're confident in that position. You don't feel like a little guy in a big position. You see, because you've been groomed into that position. We have something called nepotism, but really we still have to be groomed into that position. And nepotism is when, you know, your uncle or grandfather runs a company and automatically, you know, you are a CEO because of that. You see? But even in that same breath, the Most High, we didn't go from just waking up to the fact that we're Israelites and we teach a little bit, then we get the kingdom. No, in our personal lives, he's molding us for that position, man. All right? We're transitioning into rulership now. All right? 13, 14 years ago, when brothers first started going on YouTube, the world was not like this, man. All right? Jake didn't have no damn beard on his face. Jake did not have a beard on his face. Eve was not natural. All right? People weren't talking about holistic medicine. Although a lot of our people go left and go into some other stuff, you know. The world was not like it is now. The world wasn't this wicked, and our people weren't this so-called, I would say, spiritual per se. All right? Like I said, for you brothers that's, you know, been around here for a while, you know the world wasn't like this. You were an eyeball if you had a beard, if you woke up 2007, 2008, 2009. They just automatically associate you with Rick Ross, or you look kind of rough around the edges. Now every cat damn near has a beard, all right? Like I said, the average Evite wasn't natural because the world is changing. We're shifting worlds. We're in the middle of the second Ezra 6 and 7, where he asks the Most High, what should be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow? We're in the transition, and as men are being molded for that position now. You see, we're no celebrity rappers going on a national platform talking about we the chosen people, man. We're being molded, man. So that's how serious this is. That it's not just about teaching and, you know, wearing a garment and cursing out Esau, Edom, spitting out your mouth, man. He's really molding us for this rulership. And the molding process starts with a process of us constantly overcoming different obstacles. As it says in the scriptures, we go from glory to glory, man. All right? Isaiah 26 and 3. That will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. All right? Shalom to you, all right? So, at Yahawashi, he's setting us up to overcome, and ultimately to overcome what? The hour of temptation. All right? And that's going to lead to what? A standard being lifted. That's like we passed all those tests. We passed the test of trust. All right? And we've been built up to trust Abba, because we're Abba's boys. We're Abba's men. All right? We're his men. He got us. But he has to mold us into what? Being in the image of his son, which in essence will make us an image of him. You know? But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. And with that, Abba Baal, come Yashas, Shalom.